Pegasus. Let's go.
Trust the Profits is proud to be sponsored by Game of Silks. Go to silks.io to get in the game. Real ownership, real races, real rewards.
Trust the Profits, it is the formula here. We'll be talking about the Pegasus coming up this weekend. Yeah, we've got a deep slate for the Pegasus here. Looks like 13 horses right now. 13 horses that are entered. Don't pay attention to those odds right now. Those are not the real odds. Yeah, we're just taking guesses right now. HRN took their guesses. I'll be taking my general guess as to who's going to be giving you the most value here and who's going to be morning line favorites. And yeah, let's just say whoever is getting the morning line favorite, I don't think they're going to finish in the top three. I'm just going to throw that out there as a little bit of a spoiler alert. Let's go ahead and get started, though. Nimitz class. Do the addition there. Do the math. Do the addition, please. 11 wins in 21 races. You add all that up. 16 in the money finishes in 21 races. Pretty darn good for Nimitz class. However, class is the key term there. This is a Pennsylvania horse mainly racing out of Parks, Laurel Park. Had 4 wins in black type stakes races from 2022 to 2023 earlier. Had a 4-win streak going. So this horse knows how to win. But here we're talking about a G1. We're talking about a G1 going 9 furlongs, Gulfstream. So there's a few things here that are new for Nimitz class. Most recently third at the Belize Appreciation Mile at Parks, 10 lengths behind Awfully Cool. Closest in class was a G2, the Salvatore Mile at Monmouth in June. Second place there, half a length behind Petulante. Don't know how to say that. Petulant. And also beating Trademark in that one, too. Trademark was a horse that's in this race. Stays off the pace, 1 level back. But again, new class, new town, new area of the United States for Nimitz class. It's going to be a big challenge for Nimitz class to keep up here. O'Connor. Yeah, 27 races, 12 wins lifetime. 3 wins in 9 races in the U.S. So it was racing, I believe, in Chile before that. Winner of the Harlan Stakes, going 8.5 furlongs there. At GP, beating Grand Aspen by a neck in that one. Grand Aspen also in this race. Winner of the G2 Hagyard Fayette Stakes at Keeneland. Spelled Keeneland wrong. Slap on the wrist. Beating Illi Marolo by a head in that one. It's a closer who favors distance, needs some room to work with. Previous mounts from Tyler Gaffleone going to Paco Lopez for this one. So curious to see how that impacts O'Connor here. Dynamic 1. First of 3 Todd Pletcher horses. 4 wins, 3 second places in 14 lifetime races. Seems to run better at New York than in Florida. Has been spread out a little bit, and definitely the races at Aqueduct have been more favorable for Dynamic 1. Last time out, a 5th place allowance optional claiming race at this Gulfstream Park in December. Bumped at the start, never really making an impact there. 6th at a G1 Jockey Gold Cup. Whew. Close on that one. 8 lengths behind Olympiad. Never got going in that one. Did win the Suburban Stakes in a field of 5, beating First Captain by a nose there. Here's a closer who needs things to play out just right for him to make a difference here. If he gets bumped, if he gets rattled, if there's too much traffic, not real great movements for Dynamic 1 there. Interesting that IRAD gets the mount here. Hoist the Gold. 26 races, 5 wins. Last time out, won the Cigar Mile. Going gate to wire, beating Senor Buscador by 4 lengths there. Senor Buscador, the deep closer, but Hoist the Gold holding on strong there for the win. 6th place at the BC Sprint, losing to Elite Power in that one by 6 lengths. Never factoring in, really. Winner of the Ogden Stakes at Keeneland. Spelled it right there. Going 6 furlongs, beating Nakatomi by 3/4 of a length. And this is a horse. There's a couple horses here that I think are interesting placements. This is definitely one of them. Talking about a 9 furlong race for a horse that seems to do a lot better in one-turn situations. Trademark. 6 wins and 22 career starts. Winner of the Clark Stakes recently, going 9 furlongs there, beating First Mission by a nose. How about that? 7th at the Hagyard Fayette. Nothing working for him behind O'Connor in that race. Before that, though, G2 Lucas Classic going 9 furlongs there, sitting near the pace, losing to Clapton by a head. Got overcome by Clapton at the end there. Second at the Iceland Stakes, 2 lengths off of, got to try it again, Petulante and Nimitz class, third place there. We mentioned that before. Strong finish to the year for Trademark. You look at the wins, you look at the total number of races, doesn't look so great, but really strong finish to the year. Horse is really starting to come around, and is an interesting play here because you might get some value. Senor Buscador, and why is my picture not showing up for Senor Buscador? I do have a picture here. This is a shame. This is a darn shame. 16 races, 6 wins, lifetime. Second at the Cigar Mile. 4 lengths off of Hoist the Gold. It's supposed to be a period, not an I. 7th place at the Breeders' Cup Classic, deep close, from 12th to finish 7th, still 5 lengths behind White Abario. So you see what's going to happen there for Senor Buscador, right? There are several deep closers in this race that need the race to come to them and need for certain things to happen. Sometimes that happens for Senor Buscador, sometimes it doesn't. And we're talking about a deep field here. He did get third place at the Awesome Again Stakes at G1, 3.5 lengths back from Slow Down Andy. Pacific Classic placed fairly well, fourth there in a G1. And remember, that's a pretty deep race. We're talking about Arabian Night, Go Rocket Ride, Slow Down Andy. Those were the 3 horses in front of Senor Buscador there, so some real class. And the San Diego Handicap, he was a winner there, closing from 8th to beat Slow Down Andy by more than a length. So deepest of deep closers in this race. And again, we've got 13 horses that are entered here. We've got one on the edge, one of those 13 on the edge. So I'm thinking this is going to run off 12 strong here. Senor Buscador, is he going to find his way in traffic? National Treasure, 10 races, 2 wins, lifetime. Second at the BC Dirt Mile, setting the pace and being overcome by Cody's Wish at the end. Cody's Wish, slight nod there. Fourth at the Awesome Again, 4 lengths behind Slow Down Andy. Fifth at the Traverse, 9 lengths behind Arcangelo. Sixth at the Belmont, falling back 8 lengths. And he was the winner of the Preakness. Let us not forget that very weak Preakness that he beat Blazing Sevens in. Fourth at the Santa Anita Derby. This is a horse that does like to play pretty close to the pace, but if he gets bullied around, he will start to fall back. And he could fall back out of the money. National Treasure could. I think that there's enough pace bullies here. He could end up tiring, going 9 furlongs. I don't think that's in the cards for National Treasure. And what's interesting is HRN thinks that this will be the morning line favorite, possibly the post time favorite. Bob Baffert horse, going to take in some money. I don't think he has it in him, though. Yeah, I'm just going to throw it out there right now. I don't have him in my top 4. First Mission. Speaking of horses that I might have in my top 4, First Mission. 3 wins and 2 second places in 5 races lifetime. Came in second at the Clark, pushing the pace, overtaking Film Star, losing to Trademark at the end there, though, by a nose. Winner over Command Performance in an allowance race at Keeneland. But against Command Performance, pretty strong allowance race, beating him by a neck down the stretch, and he was the winner of the Lexington Stakes. Still a very young horse, only 5 races, but so far everything we've seen from First Mission has been fairly outstanding. Grand Aspen, 2 wins in 8 races, got really good in the money finish there. This is the 3rd Todd Pletcher horse, and he's got the other Ortiz brother on this one. Second at the Harlan Holiday, G2, laying off the pace, overtaking New York traffic, but eventually being beaten out by a neck by O'Connor in that one. O'Connor, obviously, in this race. Previous to that, maiden special weight races, allowance races. Obviously built up a really good record in those races. A lot of them were on turf, too. It was another consideration. Didn't seem to harm him in the Harlan's Holidays, but this is a horse that made his switch over recently. A bit of a wild card here, if I must say. Illi Marolo, last year's Derby trail, bit of a joke, Illi Marolo, right? 16 races, 3 wins, 5 second places, 2 third places, but The last 5 races, 5 in the money finishes. Um, 4 of those in graded stakes races. So it's not like he's just tossing around in allowance races all day long here. So Il Miracolo starting to rise a little bit. Wasn't taken seriously before for good reason. But third at the Clark Stakes, closing from seventh. To lose by 5 lengths there to Trademark and First Mission. Second at the Hagyard Fayette Stakes, moving up from fourth and losing by a head to O'Connor. Third at the Penn Derby, 6 lengths behind Saudi Crown in that one. Winner the Smarty Jones, 1 length over Cagliostro. I can never pronounce that horse's name. Apologize. I mean, going down the list, the further you go, it's pretty impressive. If you look at the recent ones, I'm sorry, if you look at the most recent races, looking extremely impressive. If you start to look at the pre-Derby races, it gets a little bit sketchy. Could find some value here. Crupi, the third of the Todd Pletcher horses, the only one not to get an Ortiz brother. 4 wins, 12 races lifetime, 6 maiden special weight races it took for him to break his maiden. And in between there, he did have some stakes races that he was racing in. But recently, first at the Queens County Stakes, a 9 furlong affair, closing from 6th place, winning by a neck over Quality Chic. Winner at the Discovery Stakes, 9 furlongs there, and these are black type races. Pushing the pace, beating Winter's Lion by 1 1/4 lengths there. The biggest race he's been in to this point, the Penn Derby, 5th place, but he had a poor start there. He factored in dead last after having a really poor start. Ended up closing hard to make it up to fifth, 7 lengths back. So there's something there, even in that race, that you can point at. Say, yeah, he got an unfair shake. If you look at what he's done past few races, it's been pretty impressive. Now he is classing up. You can look at the Penn Derby and say, okay, if you got a good start there, maybe it would have been, maybe it would have factored a little bit closer to what we're talking about here for the Pegasus. Switching from Carmouche and Paco to Frankie Dettori, Lanfranco. It's an interesting move here for Crupi, I'd say. Skippy Longstocking. Yeah, 6 wins for Skippy. This is going to be a pace setter slash stalker. We do have a few of those in this race. We talked about National Treasure. We talked about First Mission. Skippy's another one in there that will be pushing the pace most likely. Faded to third at the BC Dirt Mile. That was his last race, so it's been a while since we've seen Skippy. Losing to Cody's Wish in that one. Won the Charlestown Classic, 9 furlongs over O'Connor. 5 lengths over O'Connor in that one, going gate to wire, by the way. Second at the Cornhusker, losing a giant game in that one. Fifth at the Ben Ali, winner at the G3 Challenger. So there's a couple back and forth, a couple wins here and there, but a couple fades as well for Skippy Longstocking. What's going to happen here? Is there going to be a pace battle? Will Skippy remain on top? And then finally, the 13th horse here, Castle Chaos, definitely a bit of a wild card here. Third at the Cigar Mile. Pretty impressive there. Settling in at third, losing to Hoist the Gold by 4 lengths in that one. Previous to that, though, several allowance races. You can see his record's pretty strong. 13 races total, 10 of those in the money finishes. But again, a lot of allowance races, mostly at Aqueduct. A lot of one-turn races, too. I mean, even the big graded stakes race he had, the Cigar Mile, that's a mile. So we're not talking about going a full 9 furlongs like we're talking about for the Pegasus here. So that brings us to a close. What do you guys think I have? First Mission. Safe pick here is First Mission. I think if there's a pace struggle here, a pace battle, First Mission between Skippy Longstocking, between National Treasure, First Mission's going to be the one that's still going to have a kick at the end, in my opinion. For value here, Trademark. Trademark, I said, it's been running really well lately. I think that's a value play here. In terms of setting up a key box, I'm going to give you a lot of value here. So First Mission, obviously that is probably going to be a horse that goes off 3-1 or less. I mean, First Mission might actually be the post-time favorite, maybe going off at 5-2, 2-1. We'll see. We'll see what happens with National Treasure. After that, I think there's going to be some value here. Trademark, Il Miracolo, Crupi, especially Trademark and Il Miracolo. We talked about their recent Ascension here. These are some horses that can squeak in. Crupi as well, another horse that squeaks in and finds a way to close and pass a bunch of horses that are starting to fade. We've got other horses out there like Senor Buscador as well, but I'm going to take a stab at these three horses here, paired underneath First Mission, and see what happens. So, that's what I got going on here. What do you guys see? What do you guys got for the Pegasus? Do you like the horses I find value in? Do you think that Senor Buscador is a better play here, National Treasure? Go ahead and hit me up in the comments. Love to hear from you. As always, peace out.